welcome back to Pedalboards of Doom with Oh My Gosh, It's Josh. Now, today we are going to be looking at the much anticipated Quad Cortex control. We are finally here. It's the update that we've all been waiting for, and I can't wait to get stuck into this and let's see how it goes. So here we are. I've launched up the Quad Cortex control. I haven't actually properly played through with this yet, so we're going to go ahead and learn as we go. So you're going to get a full on how to use this function, what's included, and let's actually see how easy this is to use. So currently I've got this obviously connected up to my Quad Cortex down here on the floor next to me, and it's loaded up with one of my default patches that I've made, which is a Victory VX100 and a Soldano slow in stereo. And what's great here already, I can switch it here between scene mode, stomp mode, preset mode, which is excellent. And we can bring up gig view and that reflects that. So we're in preset mode here. We can move to my scenes and we can move to stomps, and it already looks very intuitive very quickly, which is what you kind of want to see. So I'm assuming if we come here, yep, we can see that I've got some presets that Rabia has made. I've got my own presets here. I can see the banks that I've created and of pedals that, you know, patches that people have created. We can see the downloads that I have got, which is excellent. Recent patches, favorites, and we've got a search function. It's brilliant. It's really intuitive, very easy to use very quickly, and we've also got all of the stock ones that come on the Quad Cortex. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a patch. We're going to see how easy it is to make a patch on here from scratch. So I'm going to program this as I would making a patch on the Quad Cortex itself. So I'm going to have, because I run stereo inputs from here, and I'm going to go to this. So I've got stereo in 1 and 2, which is great. I'm just going to make a really sort of basic patch, and what you'll be able to do is down in the comment section below and in the description box, you'll be able to see and download this patch. So I'm actually going to come from the multi out. Now, I don't want it to go to path 1. I want that to go to path 4 here. So let's see how easy it is to change this path. So lane output control, no. So that's assign the expression panel. So this bit obviously isn't the clearest on how to... right. I wasn't looking here at the side. Okay, yep. So at the side, I can choose where I want this to go out. So I want this to go to row 3. Boom. Here we are. And then I want this to be my multiple out. Right. Excellent. This is good. This is good. We're making progress. And then what I'm going to do here, as I tend to do, is I'm adding a split here as if it was an effects loop. So my signal is going to come in here, and I'm going to put in first. I'm going to build this almost as a gain staging classic rock stroke metal sort of patch. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to whack in an SD1 straight off the bat, which is great because it's just the go-to pedal of choice. So at the moment I'm not going to set any foot switches because I'm going to sort that all out at a later point. So I'm going to go to the parameter editor. I'm going to push up a little bit of overdrive and a little bit of level for now. Next up I'm going to go for a fuzz. I'm going to go for one of my favourites that's on here, and that is the Thunderpaw, because this pedal absolutely kicks ass. I'm going to add a little bit of low end on this, take out some of the treble, and that should do the job nicely. Right, so we've got 2 overdrives. What should we do next? Let's get some amps in here. Now I'm going to run some stereo bad boys, so I'm going to go for amps. And I'm going to run through with I'm going to go JTM 900. I'm going to have one on the left, and I'm going to put on the other side an SLO. Pretty good amps. I'm going to leave everything at 12 o'clock. We're just going to go with it as it is. Let's add some cabs. So I'm going to put a matching Marshall with this. So we're going to go Brick V30. This is great. So you can see how close we are going to the cone and the outskirts of the cone. That's a very clever way to do it. I'm going to go 57, I'm going to go for a 421. I'm just going to have this 421 slightly on the edge of the speaker. And I'm going to do the same here, add another cab. But this time I'm going to add a California V30 angled. And I'm going to do the same sort of thing. I'm going to have 57, I'm going to have 421 off. I'm going to move this slightly because one thing that I really like to do. Ooh, okay. Right, what's going on here? So let's move that there. I don't want that there. Okay. Here we go. So I like to have my delays and my reverbs in between the amp and the cabs. I'm fine. It's actually very easy to click and pick up where you want everything to go. It's pretty straightforward. Have a look here. I can copy the device, paste it in, boom. Okay, that's really useful. I'm going to set 2 different delays here. I don't want them to be synced, so I'm going to set one for about 640 milliseconds. And I'm going to set one for about, let's go, 800. I'm going to move those across. That bit's quite annoying where it sort of switches between the two. I'm going to put on plate reverb. Don't want it too high. Let's copy that again. Paste device. Cool. And what I'm going to do here, and this will make sense once I've done it, is I want to have a clean amp, and I'm going to go for another Soldano. I'm going to go for a crunch on the normal. Now, what I'm going to do with this, let's just back off the game with that a little bit. I like a nice scoopy sort of clean. Boom. Right, I think I'm quite happy with, actually no, tell a lie, I'm not happy because I want to add a good old POG, and I've also got my presettings saved with this already. And for the clean tone, we're just going to add a 87 comp. So I think I'm pretty happy with how I've been able to lay this out now, and what I really want to see is how well I compare these together. So what I'm going to do is I don't need the cabs on my stomp mode. So it looks like I can just take these out pressing those buttons. That's great. I want to be able to turn both of these amps on and off at the same time. So I'm going to assign foot switch C and then assign foot switch C. So I've got my 2 amps there, and then I want to set this to D. So when I want to switch to clean and dry, sorry, so to clean and lead, I can press these straight away. Now actually I've had an even better idea. So if I'm running that at the moment, let's see if I assign that then to switch C. if I press... Okay, so it's turning them all on and off. I was hoping... What if I do it that way? Okay, that's worked it. So what I'm doing now, when I press this, I can turn the gain amplifiers off and turn the clean on. That's perfect. So I'm going to leave the cabs on. Now, patch D, I think we'll assign the compressor. E will go with the octave. This is really easy. This is just so intuitive to use. We're going to set delays to F. And let's set reverbs to G. And I think that's everything on there. Okay, so then we can save this as, shall we call this... let's call it gain staging Soldano for now. This is really intuitive to use. It's very, very good. Now, at the moment, I can see that I've got various scenes set up. Let's see how easy it is to organize your scene modes. So I like to have my bottom row down as my defaults. So I'm assuming if I save this as this way, drag and drop to swap, hold option to replace. Right. Now this doesn't seem all the most clear to do. Right, so if I am on, I want that off, and I want that on, and I want that on. I'm going to take the delays off for this patch, and I want to save that as patch E. Okay, so this feature kind of, I would suggest, needs a little bit work to make it more intuitive as to work with the scene mode, because it's not necessarily making it clear how. Okay, assign to scenes. Oh, come that on. Yeah, so action undone. Okay, that's good. I'll go back onto that one then and assign to scenes. But how does one change it into scenes? So that's that, that's that, that's that. So if I then turn that on, okay, I go to F. If I turn that off, turn assign to scenes, turn that on, does that then switch them? Okay, so we've worked that out. So that's now, so we can just name that SLO JCM. Then click onto this, and then this is SLO clean. Okay, right. So yeah, now this is working really nicely. So can I? That's a very useful feature. You can just drag and drop them to swap them around. So for now, on this one, I don't want this one on this patch because this is now going to be a wet clean. Now I know what you're thinking. I've left the overdrives and the fuzz on, which I've just remembered. So I'm going to assign to scenes, assign to scenes, assign to scenes. We'll assign that to scenes swap. I want the compressor on for the clean. So that should be fine now. So if I go back to the SLO JCM, that's fine. Got a compressor on there, and the clean comes on. Still keeping that compressor on. Come to this. Both of the delays are now turning on. Excellent. So I'm going to come up to here, and I'm going to have this turn on for scene A. So I'm going to kind of put in plus SD1. You know what, we'll have that yellow because the SD1 is yellow. scene B, we're going to turn on the thunder port. So we'll go plus thunder port. Let's set that orange because the pedal's like a yellowy orange. Then we're going to go POG with this one. POG's red, isn't it? So let's go to POG. It's really annoying me that I haven't put a plus on it. And then for the last one, we're going to go POG. We're going to go Thunderport. So we'll go POG Thunderport. Oh, can I get that on one? There we go. Get that on one line. And it helps if I spell. Let's put that blue. Okay. Tell a lie. No, we're going to put this as a lead. So we want to have both of the amps on. Let's throw on the delays. And then let's put a solo lead. So now in theory, let's save that. So that, yep, we've got both of those amps running. Come on, here we've got the SD1, the Thunderport, the POG, both of those. Got the clean, a wet clean, and the lead. So actually, once you get used to it, it is very easy to get this up and running and knowing how to actually set up the patches, which is really good functionality. So we look on here now, going into a little bit more depth, we can see that we can actually go fully into the settings of the quad cortex. And we can even change things like the brightness, lock in the quad cortex, MIDI settings, the accounts. We've got a master volume, undo. Obviously this will be connected to the Cortex Cloud, but I'm not logged in currently. So let's see how easy it is then to upload this to the Quad Cortex Cloud. So we have run into a little bit of a bug where obviously in the early days there are going to be bugs with this, but it was not allowing me to log into my Quad Cortex account, or it didn't seem to be, because I wanted to put this preset onto the QC cloud. Unfortunately, I don't think this is now allowing me to do so. I cannot seem to right click on this to then be able to upload it to the cloud. So there is a little bug there with that, which, you know, to be expected with a very new piece of software. But as we can see, when we go into this patch a little bit more, we'll be able to then go into, he says, the parameters of, there we go. So we can still see that everything you can do on the Quad Cortex, we can do it here within the cloud. And I can see, looking at my unit, that it has now loaded up this patch on my unit. So I'm not currently plugged in at the moment, but it's good to be able to see that you could have your guitar on your lap, you could have the Quad Cortex on your floor, on the desk, or anything like that, and you can play and sort of create at the same time, which is excellent. We can see that we can look at our MIDI functionality. They've got a feature to tap tempo from your desktop, which is great. You can also enter in the tap tempo that you require. You can bring up your tuner. I mean, everything that you just do within the unit, you can do on here, which is excellent. And it looks like we can even back up our Quad Cortex through here as well. Intuitively, it's very easy to get used to. There are still, I think, a few like little bits that could possibly be changed, like when you're bringing up an amp, it's not necessarily so clear as to where you're going to edit your parameters. I think that could perhaps maybe just be tweaked a little slightly, but actually, you know, for something that's only been out a week or so, it's actually very intuitive to get used to. I like being able to have the ability of just treating it like the unit is in front of you. And I think I'm going to benefit more of being able to edit things on my desktop like this, rather than kind of having to sit down on the floor and bend over and bend over and actually having to edit it physically. So I'm quite looking forward to this. Eventually, obviously, in a previous video that I've done, we'll be able to then look at importing presets from the Neural DSP archetype plugins and actually bringing on these into the Quad Cortex, which I'm sure I'll do a video of when they came out. But so far, this is actually really intuitive, and I'm really happy with how it's turning out. If you want this preset, what I'll do is I'll put a link to it in the description box below once I figure out how to actually upload it from the desktop. Make sure you check out the video before this, where I was actually talking about the updates that were coming with the Quad Cortex, and you'll be able to learn more about the plugin integration that is coming with it as well. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe and share button, drop a comment, let me know what you think about this and what could actually be improved with the Quad Cortex. My name has been Oh My Gosh, it's Josh, and I will see you guys in another video very soon. Bye bye for now.